g'day throttlers, this is a nothing style of video. I've just had a spare hour or two to get out on the Harley, the sun's out, and I thought I'd do a little bit of a trip through Sydney Airport. Thanks for stopping by, folks. While you're here, I would love for you to consider subscribing to the channel and tap that bell icon to stay in touch with all things Throttle Down Under. And of course, we know it's not busy here, but until you actually come here and have a look around, it's just like an absolute ghost town. No one's travelling, of course, internationally or domestically, or not much domestic, but there's just not a soul in sight other than federal police in front of me, some girl over there in big boots, and that's about it. So what a crazy time we're in, hey? I'm sure this is the same with every airport across the world, but this is usually bumper to bumper traffic right through here, and you know, people beeping their horns, cranky, coming home from business trips. It's a crazy time. Anyway, I really had nothing to report to you guys. I was just out cruising around, filling in a little bit of time until Mrs. Throttle got home. She's been out shopping this morning, and I thought I would just have a look around the airport, and I guess everything's exactly how I expected. No people, very little traffic, on a Saturday of all things too. I'm wondering if that bus knows he's got a plant growing up in the top of it. What a beautiful day though. We've got some rain coming in the next couple of days, I believe. But having a spare hour, I certainly wasn't going to miss the opportunity to jump on this old girl and come out and have a look around. I haven't had much work on lately. It's been pretty tight, but I have had lots of other things happening, so I just haven't had an opportunity to ride. Plus we've had a fair bit of shitty weather here in Sydney in the last week as well. Just out to the left there, that's the Qantas depot where my old mate Reggie works. All the planes are in there. I wonder what's going to happen with aeroplanes. Obviously they're designed to fly, they're not designed to sit on the ground turned off for such a long time. I wonder, when we all start flying again, are we going to be at risk because the airplanes haven't been flying? Or are we going to be safer because they've had a whole bunch of maintenance done to them and they haven't been getting used? It's like keeping the kilometres low on your motorcycles or your cars. Time will tell, of course. I'm hoping it's the latter. I'm hoping that it makes us all safer, but who knows, eh? Now if you're wondering why I'm floating around the airport over here, it's literally like 10 to 15 minutes from my house, and up until COVID hit, my wife and I like to get away a fair bit for little holidays, little getaways, and we haven't been able to do that for ages, so I'm kind of missing that feeling that you get when you're at an airport. You know that especially if you're going away for holidays and not for work, there's that little anticipation, that little bit of nervousness, that little bit of excitement when you know that you're about to jump on an aeroplane and go somewhere to have a good time, whether it's overseas or domestic. Funnily enough, I love travelling domestic. I want to see more of Australia, and I want to see as much of Australia as I possibly can. Mrs. Throttle, on the other hand, she loves going international. She loves going overseas and checking things out. I'm very grateful that I have the opportunity to do both, that I've got a choice. Well, back when the world was normal, I had a choice. I don't have a choice at the moment, of course. But I just I wonder what's going to happen to the world. How long until we can travel internationally? Ironically enough, since I changed this YouTube channel into a moto vlogging style channel, as well as doing motorcycle reviews, I've met more and more of you guys from overseas, and now while I can't travel is when I really want to travel, to come and meet you guys. I don't want to list off names in case I forget any, but there's so many of you good folk that I've become really close with just through the internet, and haven't had an opportunity obviously to meet face to face. It's a very weird thing. I guess that's like those folk that do internet dating. You build up a bit of a rapport before you actually see yourselves face to face. Whether that's good or bad, I don't know. Yeah, nice little sidecar coming past on a Suzuki. A lot of people ask me why I've called my Harley Nola. And essentially, obviously, you know, Harleys, well, these touring Harleys are still built in America. My favourite American city, not necessarily by its beauty, but by the feelings that I had while I was there, was New Orleans. New Orleans, Louisiana. And hence why this bike is called a Nola. It's short for New Orleans, Louisiana. And since then, from my love of New Orleans and my thirst to try and improve my photography skills, I discovered a bloke called George Kuchler. I'm really bad at saying his name, and I know that he forgives me for ruining his name every time. But his YouTube channel is called Focused with GK. And just a really cool fella, sharing his photographic knowledge in the beautiful city of New Orleans. So I think that's one of my first stops. I want to head over to New Orleans and catch up with Georgie and have a bite to eat and have a chat. Really, really nice fella. Anyway, this is the Cooks River Rowing Club just here. The airport's just over there. And just over behind those buildings at Walleye Creek is a couple of suburbs along as where I live. Let's be a rebel and go out the no exit sign. I'm actually on the hunt for lunch. I've just been sitting at home and watching YouTubers Dad and Mad have an argument with YouTuber Stevie TV about burgers versus sandwiches. Obviously, it's purely based on what part of the world you come from as to what you call it, and I don't think anyone will win the argument because we all think we're right. Stevie's point was that it's not about the bread that's holding the meat, it's about the way the meat is prepared. So if you've got ground meat, so ground beef, minced beef, minced chicken, then it's a burger. It doesn't matter if it's on bread and not a bread roll, it's a burger because it's ground meat. Now if you're got like a fillet of meat, like a breast fillet or a thigh fillet, then it's no longer a burger, it's a sandwich. But it's a sandwich even if you're having it on a burger bun. Now obviously, being here in Australia, Dad and Mad being from the UK, we know the truth. The truth is, a burger is anything that's put on a burger bun, and a sandwich is anything put on a sandwich bread. But in the comment section on those videos, there's also a really good point, and that is, a burger's hot, a sandwich is cold. And I understand where he's coming from with that. However, I can have a steak sandwich and that's hot, so that doesn't win my argument. People are stupid. They should never own cars or licenses. That's enough from me for the moment, guys. As I said, it was a nothing video, so if you've carried along this way, this far, I appreciate it, because I've really achieved nothing. I just felt like having a chat while I was riding. I've got to go and find food, perhaps a burger, perhaps a sandwich. What do you reckon? In the comments below, let me know what you think is the difference between a burger and a sandwich, and also mention where you are from in the world, and see if we agree with each other. Anyway, ciao.
Like a bird on a tree, I'm just sitting here. I got time, it's clear to see. From up here, the world seems small.